Hey, Big Brother fans. Well, the veto meeting was today, and in a stunning blindside, Makensy Manbeck used her power of veto, and a new house target is on the block, sitting next to Kimo Apaka. This is now 8 weeks in a row of the power of veto being used, which is another Big Brother record. So with Makensy using the veto to take Angela Murray off the block again, it just seems wild how deep that Angela has gotten into this game, given her explosion against Matt in week 1, ongoing explosions, tantrum and tears, charcuterie, etc. But there she sits. Angela is officially in jury. We knew that last week, but we assumed she'd be the first juror. She's not, and who even knows how far she's going to go in BB26, because people keep targeting their allies. So Chelsie Baham put Quinn Martin on the block as the Renom. And here's just what's insane. If you watch the live feeds, you should have seen Leah Peters lately laying around with Quinn, flirting with him, even rubbing his long curly locks. But Leah was one of the driving forces behind him going on the block. So was Quinn getting too close for comfort, and Leah wants him gone for personal reasons now that she knows he is going to jury and could vote for her at the end? We saw Quinn whisper in Leah's ear this weekend, wondering if she wouldn't kiss him because she's not into him or because it's a bad game move, and she told Quinn it was the latter, letting him think he still has a chance. So, when it comes to Leah, did Quinn just whisper his way onto the block? Low-key asking for a smooch? All right. Throughout the day today, leading up into the veto meeting, Makensy was back and forth on whether she would use the power of veto or not. But overnight, the Renom target was already set, just by the way. But with the big question being, will she, won't she? And at the same time, the house was getting annoyed with Angela because she was running around, stirring the pot and riling up the house again, which seemed like crazy timing, given that she was hoping to have the veto used on her. She ran to Chelsie to say she saw a new alliance being formed, another alliance she's being excluded from in her paranoid mind. And what Angela saw was a chat where Makensy heard from several different people that she should pull Kimo off the block with her veto power. They were lobbying her about the POV, not about an alliance. And that group of 5 was Leah, Quinn, T-Kor, Rubina, and of course, Kimo himself. And when Chelsie heard this from Angela and asked Makensy, she was like, yeah, we were talking about the POV and, using it on Kimo or not. There was no alliance talk. Makensy did suggest taking Kimo off the block and sitting a pawn up there beside Angela and her going to jury, since, they were wondering whether there might be another vote flip and wanted somebody up there that they knew the house would be united on, right? But Cam doesn't want Makensy to use it on Kimo, and of course they're awfully close these days, as we know. And Chelsie told MJ she'd prefer to have her use it on Angela, and then she was going to nominate Leah to break up the power pair of Quinn and Leah. But again, with kind of missing the mark, targeting a duo when there's the triumvirate of Kimo, T-Kor, and Rubina right in front of her. The math isn't mathing, as she likes to say. Meanwhile, Chelsie said Quinn wasn't somebody she wanted on the block, wasn't somebody she wanted to send to jury yet, but she is worried that if Leah is on the block, it might end up a tie vote, and with Quinn on the block, maybe not a tie vote. She doesn't want to have to break a tie and get more blood on her hands. And with house numbers dwindling, the threesome of Kimo, T-Kor, and Rubina, that's a solid voting block. Next week, it's enough to run the house, And then very, very late last night / early this morning, more drama. Head of household Chelsie chatted with Leah, and they were talking about Renom options. And get this, Leah threw Quinn's name out to Chelsie and Makensy. This was a pre-dawn discussion among the 3 of them about targets in week 8. After Leah left, Makensy and Chelsie talked some more. And finally, when she was alone, Makensy was talking to the camera by herself about whether she should play the veto at all, knowing Quinn would likely go on the block. She doesn't want him going home. And she was wondering to America, whoever was watching, whether Chelsie was manipulating her into using it. When it comes to Chelsie, yes, I think the answer always is yes, she is manipulating someone. And right before the veto meeting, and this is interesting, Quinn and Chelsie talked, and she spilled to him that Leah was up very late, working overtime, throwing his name around and talking smack about him and pushing for him to be the Renom. What Chelsie didn't say that I heard was that by the time Leah rolled into the room to talk to all of them, she had already decided Quinn was the Renom if the veto was used. So I think Chelsie definitely wants him to think that Leah was the one who pushed it over onto him. And really, I mean, to be fair, if Leah knew that it was her or Quinn going up, yeah, you got a campaign, right? But Leah also, weaselly things and just other remarks. She was being hurtful after being so sweet to him all week, seemingly. This girl's got her no makeup face, her makeup face, and then like a whole other couple of faces that she shows to different people. So when Chelsie told Quinn he vowed his loyalty to Chelsie if she wouldn't put him up, and said he would choose her over Leah or anybody else. But this is what's crazy. Quinn then suggested Rubina as the Renom. It's insane. Chelsie was literally telling him, Leah wants you on the block. So why wouldn't Quinn say, no, not me, put Leah up instead? You'd have the votes to evict and promise her that he would be part of that. Why bring Rubina into it? Quinn had to notice Rubina and Chelsie have been hanging out a lot. Then again, he's got his head so far up Leah's backside. Maybe he sees nothing but panties. I don't even know. Meanwhile, Cam was suggesting Leah as the Renom. Maybe he's still salty she said no to the showmance. And then he turned around and was suggesting Quinn as the Renom because maybe he figured out that that would be better for him personally. By the way, T-Kor is still pushing for this all-girls alliance. And with Kimo and Quinn, the final two on the block, they're only 2 guys away from the women owning that BB26 house. They are falling into this alliance. I mean, if they fail at forming an alliance, I don't even know what to say because the numbers are there. Makensy is a little worried Quinn will be a bitter juror. Chelsie thinks after a few weeks sitting by the pool at the jury mansion, he'll be chill and base it on gameplay. We'll see. I'm not sure about that because Quinn saved Chelsie, which she seems to have forgotten, even though it was just last week. And she stated that she couldn't think about T-Kor as a Renom because she had saved Chelsie in the past. And more recently, Quinn saved you. So here's what I'm hoping. I'd like to see another vote flip and Quinn stays in the house just for the oh hell look on Chelsea's face, knowing he would be gunning for her with both barrels. And since she renommed Quinn, we have seen Chelsie on fire on the live feeds, talking to Cam and just dragging everything she dislikes about Leah. So why didn't she put Leah on the block instead of Quinn? Well, Cam likes Leah and Chelsie likes Cam, and we're apparently in 3rd grade. That's why. So if you love Quinn or you used to hate him, but he's growing on you, week 8 should have you very worried. And Angela dodged yet another bullet by some miraculous twist of fate. I think the fandom's going to have to name a new curse after her, because every person that targeted her or rubbed her the wrong way is gone. We could call it the Angry Angela Annihilation Curse, or maybe the Grand Mammy Whammy. I like that one. Drop your comments, though. Let me know, do you think Quinn is doomed to be the first juror, or if he can wiggle his way out of this and send Kimo out instead? So right now, counting votes, there's 6 up for grabs. Makensy, Leah, Cam, Rubina, T-Kor, and Angela. Rubina and T-Kor would definitely vote to evict Quinn. So that's down to 4 votes, right? Because they would save Kimo. Angela is menopausally mental most days, so it's hard to even say what she would do. She's griped about Quinn, and she does like Kimo, but she flipped and voted against Kimo last week. So don't ever count her out. Makensy wants Quinn to stay. So that would be 2-2, right? And 2 more up for grabs. Cam wants Quinn gone, and I think it's so that he will be the default guy left for Leah to flirt with. And as for Leah, you never know. It's not like she and Kimo are besties and she's not leaning into this girl's alliance. Realistically, we could get a split vote with Chelsie having to chime in, and we'd see how that goes. The problem is it would burn the bridge out from under her if she cast the tie-breaking vote to evict Kimo. Still, I'd say don't count Quinn out just yet. We've got 3 more days of gameplay, and I'm sure he's not going to go to jury without a fight. Even Chelsie is now saying she doesn't want him gone, which is insane. So just maybe, there's hope in the tiebreaker. We'll see. But the other thing to consider is Quinn has clocked Chelsea's middle of the pack strategy that nobody else in the house seems to have realized yet. So we'll see. That's it. Check back soon for more updates. Drop those comments. Please subscribe if you're not following us. Thanks.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.